Today we're going to enter a local tournament using only rares.
Subscribe.
Before we build our deck out of rares, we first need to understand what a rare is. For the most part, your typical rare is a non-holofoil card with a shiny name. While the most typical version of this rarity has a silver name, there are multiple different variations: black from battle packs, blue, red and green from Duelist League, and the most recent gold from Maximum Gold. According to the official database, most of these unique rarities are listed as a rare, and so they fit our restriction, but there is one exception. Gold letter rares from Maximum Gold are specifically listed as a gold rare, which is a completely different rarity. And so for this rare challenge, we are not going to be able to use the gold letter rares. This actually removes a lot of the obvious deck picks for this challenge. So what deck are we actually going to play? We're not going to be able to play Malfi and Friends. We're not going to be able to play Dragons, but you could play Friends and Dragons, the sponsor of today's video. Friends and Dragons is a fun turn-based puzzle RPG with over 150 heroes to collect, endless dungeons to explore, and plentiful loot to find. Get your brain juiced up in all kinds of epic boss battles against dragons and giants alike. It's basically Generators the game. Rebuild your city and set up a guild with your friends and pillage together in a unique co-op mode. If you don't have any friends, it's okay, just join the Discord. Simple. You can play both combo and control by configuring your favorite hero lineup. I'm personally a fan of the mages because they do so much damage. But man, they squishy. Good thing there's healers. There's all kinds of different events and heroic challenges every week to participate in, so if you think you've got what it takes to beat everything because you're so smart, download the game for free by clicking the link in the description for a special bonus of 1 free summon, daily energy potions, free gold, and exclusive offers. Thanks again to Friends and Dragons for sponsoring this video. We're actually attempting this challenge with almost every rarity, and so far we've done commons where we played Goki. But let me know what decks you think could be played for other rarities like Ultra and Secret, etc. And while you're down there, give that like button a little bit of a tickle. If you do that for me, maybe we'll have a big tournament at the end to see which rarity comes out on top. So the biggest issue with these kinds of restrictions is that there's no way to filter card by rarity. And so searching for potential cards is an absolute nightmare. For example, to find a rank 4 Xyz monster that's printed in rare, I first had to go through every single rank 4 individually and look through their printing sets, trying to find that beautiful green R sign. For rare specifically, decks that come to mind off the top of my head are things like maybe Blackwings, Tenyi, a random pendulum mashup, generic chaos stuff thanks to Toon Chaos, and potentially any other decks that were printed playable in a recent collector's rare side set. Taking extra deck also into account, I think there was one clear choice that stood leagues above everything else, and that's Tenyi. Alright, here we go. So the rare only Tenyi deck. I'm not gonna lie, the main deck is actually a lot better than the actual win conditions, but you'll see what I mean. So starting off with the Tenyi package, we of course have triple Ashuna, triple Vishuddha for them bounces, triple Idhara for synchro summons and recursion, triple Sthena, just a beast of a card really, and then we also have 1 copy of Nahata and 1 copy of Mapura. It's nice having potentially multiple points of interaction with the opponent, so we are on at least 1 each of those. For the Tenyi spells and traps, we of course have triple Vessel for the Dragon Cycle, amazing card, triple Flawless Perfection of the Tenyi, basically Pot of Greed, and then double of the counter trap Fists of the Unrivaled Tenyi. So that is our full Tenyi package. And then getting into the generic cards, here is one of our win conditions. Triple Vanity's Fiend. You special summon a Tenyi and tribute over it for Vanity's Fiend. Hope they can't out it. Then we also have triple Effect Veiler from Duelist Pack 10. Triple DD Crow, 1 Pankratops, of course, very good card. Triple Solemn Strike, recently printed in the Grand Creators. Triple Champion Pack Solemn Judgment. 1 Desires because it did get limited. And 1 Harpy's Feather Duster. I did want to play 3 Skill Drain because that would be really good in this deck. However, the card is super expensive, and I sure as hell was not paying £30 per copy for this little video. So that is the main deck. Moving on to the extra deck, we of course have triple Monk of the Tenyi and a double Berserker of the Tenyi. Those are our Tenyi cards. We can't play Shaman, it's not available in a rare. We have Nightmare Phoenix, Nightmare Unicorn, and Amphibious Swarm Ship Amblowell for our link monsters. This is like our access code talker, just without the amazing effect. For synchros, we are on double Baxia, 1 Stardust Dragon, and 1 Scarlet Red Dragon Archfiend. For Xyz, we have 1 Ragna Zero and 1 Castel. There's like no good rank 4s available in Rare until Castel got printed in the Grand Creators. But outside of that, there's like no good options. But we do also have the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon in Rare to be summoned off of the counter trap if it does get popped by an opponent's effect. For the side deck here, we're playing 3 copies of Rare Droll Lockbird. Literally just this card alone makes videos like this super expensive, but thanks to the sponsor, you know, we were able to afford it. We also have triple Skullmeister, triple Gamma, and 1 Driver. All of these are just for siding in, going second over our strikes and judgments. We have double MST plus 1 Raigeki. We could play 3 Raigeki because it's at 3 now, but I think I bought this before it actually got unlimited. And then we also have 1 Mobius the Frost Monarch and 1 Caius the Shadow Monarch. Rares from Battle Pack. Tribute summons to side in over the Vanity's Fiend for going second. They're just really cool cards, honestly. I can't remember the last time I've ever summoned a Monarch, so that's going to be fun. Overall though, that is the list. Win condition basically is go first and hope Vanity's Fiend can stick alongside your interruptions. Otherwise, you kind of want to get out the Link 3, 3000 body unaffected with the field spell, keep drawing cards and interrupting your opponent. Stardust is literally like our best going first extra deck monster outside of the Berserker. So yeah, might be a little bit awkward. We are handicapped here, but we'll see what we can do. So with the commons only deck, we actually finished with a 2-3 record in a 5-round locals. The goal today is to beat that. Easy. Let's do it. Alright, so getting into round 1, our opponent wasn't too comfortable playing in front of the camera, which is, you know, understandable. We respect duelists' feelings around here. You guys can be pretty relentless with misplays. However, it was an incredible match against Highlander Tenyi Sword Soul. Yeah, you heard that right. It was a very close match, however, we did eventually lose 2-1. Unfortunately, she just drew the outs for Vanity's Fiend twice. Very fun round 1, but getting into round 2, we're paired against Virtual World and Luzadarol. I don't think today's going to go as well as I'd hoped. However, activate Kowloon, place Chuche on the field, pass turn. I've never tried to play Virtual World myself, but geez, this deck seems to break way too often, dude. We fire off a Duster to get the Chuche off the field, special Vishuda and a link into Monk. Activating Vessel, we then dump Ashuna and add Shthana to hand, special the Shthana, and activate Ashuna and Grave to special Adhara from the deck. That is 3 materials on the board, so we can now link into the Berserker and punch for 3k. Main phase 2, activate Adhara to add back Ashuna, set 1, and pass turn. Our opponent once again activates Kowloon, this time placing King Long, sets another, and passes it back. Time to go in for the kill here. Activating the field spell, we follow it up with Vishuda Engraved to bounce the set monster. Special summon Ashuna from hand and link into Monk. Special Mapura from hand, activate Ashuna for the 3rd body, but we do get met with a Gamma, which we slap with the strike, and that's gonna be game. Game 2, our opponent is going first again and starts with a Foolish Burial Goods dumping King Long. Kowloon places a Chuche on the field and King Long Engraved searches for Lulu while discarding Gigi. Activating Lulu, they dump a Kowloon and add Lao Lao to special summon the Lulu to the field. They follow that up with a Lily, dumping a Nyan Nyan, and then synchro the Lily with the Lulu into the Crocodragon, drawing 1. From here, they activate Lao Lao, dumping Gigi and reborning the Lily, which gets them to the Ultimayat Sulkin, who brings out Crystal Wing. We have Effect Veiler in hand at this point, but it can't be targeted because the Crocodragon's on the field. They set 1, and it's over to us with Chuche currently not live. Raigeki off the top feels nice! After wiping the board, we activate Desires, banishing 10, and draw into a Gamma and Adhara. So we're not actually going to get too far here, unfortunately. Special summoning Shthana, I then normal Nahata and link into Phoenix, discarding Gamma to pop the Chuche. This was a slight misplay. We could have co-linked it with a Monk and then made Berserker afterwards, but, you know, cry about it. Punching in for 19 direct, we set 1 and pass turn, where our opponent just sets a monster and passes it straight back to us. Still not a whole lot we can do here. We do beat over the set Effect Veiler and then just end our turn. Opponent activates King Long from hand and just straight up passes it back, so they're currently kind of bricked again. We normal Atara, link into Unicorn and spin the back row. It does get gammed, but we chain strike and punch for 2200. Drawing into Lao Lao does get them to a Utopia Beyond and therefore a Zeus, but we out it with a Vishuda bounce and revert it to a simple game state where we do eventually beat them down. Round 3, this is a bit more like it. We're playing against Hunter's Scraps. Losing the die roll, we are made to go first. No problem. But once again, our Vanity's Fiend gets outed, and we get OTK'd by double Scrap Dragon into Draglubian for the number 100. Game 2, I choose to go second, interested to see what scraps make going first, and Hunter starts with Small World, revealing Nibiru from hand, Scrap Golem from deck, and adding Scrap Raptor. I realized here that in actual tournaments, Small World is going to be kind of a problematic card, because the opponent's going to take so much time to confirm the search is legal. Anyway, normal summoning Scrap Raptor, it pops itself and searches for Chimera, who is then also normal summoned to revive the Raptor, and a Hunter overlays for Crooked Cook. Very interesting. He sets 1 and passes turn. Crooked Cook is only unaffected while you control no other cards, so that back row is turning that off right now. We start off with a nice Raigeki. Of course, Crooked Cook gets chained, which would wipe its own back row to then therefore be unaffected at the resolution of Raigeki. However, Chain Gamma. Yeah, boy. Chain Strike. Activating the field spell, we proceed to special Sthana and link into Monk. Special summoning Mapura, we then tribute over it for Mobius the Frost Monarch. 2400 is greater than 2300, so we're able to swing over the curved chef and pass turn. Another Small World comes down, this time revealing Scrap Golem from hand, Scrap Goblin from deck, and adding another Scrap Raptor. Same play again, normal Raptor, pop itself to add Chimera, and summon Chimera to revive the Raptor. Of course, we nab a cheeky Pot of Greed off the field spell here, but don't see any hand traps. Linking into Hulk, Hunter summons a Scrap Goblin from the deck, and then links both of those into the Scrap Wyvern. Wyvern reborns the Goblin and pops it, summoning a Golem from the deck, and destroying Mobius. Golem then revives Goblin, and Borrowload Savage hits the field. We take a chunk of damage in the battle phase, and it's back over to us. Activating Adhara in hand, Hunter shotguns his only interruption. Savage doesn't destroy, so we can just normal summon the Adhara and continue as normal. Linking into the Monk, we activate Vessel to dump Vishuda and add Nahata. Vishuda bounces the Savage, and we special Ashuna from the hand, who gets us to Berserker to beat over the Wyvern. We're both kinda low on resources at this point, but a Scrap Chimera is enough to get Hunter to the Boral Sword, and therefore the game shot. Punching over Berserker, we teach this man the lesson of Sthana. Reviving Berserker and popping the Boral Sword stops him dead in his tracks, and we have enough to kill him on our next turn. Game 3, we're going first again. Starting with a Desires to draw 2, we special Sthana and link into Monk. Activating Vessel puts Ashuna in the grave and adds Vishuda to hand. We don't have the field spell, so making Berserker seems kinda bad. However, we're against Scraps. We just so happen to have a card in our extra deck that weirdly counters their gimmick. Special summoning Vishuda, we normal Atara and synchro into
Stardust Dragon! Let's rev it up!
Activating Ashuna and Grave, we special another Atara from the deck just as a wall and add Ashuna back to hand by banishing the Atara and Grave. Set Vessel as a bluff, and we should be good to go. My man's drops the Kaiju Slumber, which of course we have to negate with Stardust. Chain called by the Grave. What a weird ass sequence. On resolution of the slumber, we do trigger the Sthana to pop his Kaiju and bring back the Monk. Dropping Effect Veiler on the Scrap Raptor pretty much stops his plays, so he goes to the battle phase, slaps over the Monk, and passes it back. Normal summoning Sthana, we link into Monk and flip the Vessel, but get ashed. Alright, well, battle phase, swing for a few, set 1 pass. Hunter makes it to a Borrowload Savage, but we do bait it with Vishuda and clear it with the Sthana, leaving him unable to clear the Berserker because it just keeps coming back. He's stressing out because it's hard to think of a way to out it while also not seeming like slow playing in a winning position, so he passes it to us on an empty board with 20 seconds on the clock. We swing in for 3k damage to take the lead, but instead of playing in main phase 2 with Vessel and whatnot to secure the dub, I thought it would be funnier to pass it to Hunter and see if he could claw it back with a buzzer beater. Right enough, he top decks a Chimera, which is a very quick Scrap Dragon, sets 1 as fodder for the effect to clear the Berserker, and swings for game. Honestly, I count this as a tactical win, since we easily had it, but it was funny seeing Hunter shit himself.
Did you lose? I won. I just won.
Round 4, the final round. If we win this one, I'd say we surpass the common deck. Losing the dice roll, we go second against the Dogma Despia Albaz pile. Our opponent starts with an Nadir servant sending Apkalone to add Ecclesia. She does forget about the Apkalone thankfully and proceeds to normal Ecclesia, searching for Fleur. 2 back row, and it's over to us. Our top decks have been on point today because Feather Duster is exactly what we need here, popping the punishment and the imperm. After resolving desires, we have loads of different plays in our hand, but I'm curious how far we'd get with the Monkey option. She added Fleur, so this line locks out one of her cards at least, and that is special summoning Ashuna to then tribute summon Vanity's Fiend.
Punch for 900. Battle phase, 2-4.
Yep.
Battle phase, 2-4.
Nah, you got this. I actually bricked like no problem.
Let's go.
Game 2, we're going second again, and this time we see some of the Despia cards. Branded Opening is activated first, special summoning Aluber from the deck, discarding Super Poly, and on the activation of Aluber, we chain Gamma. I don't know if this is typically correct or not, but it seemed to work. Set in 1, she passes turn. We start by special summoning Vishuda and linking into Monk. Special summoning Shtana, we tribute over it for the Mobius and pop the imperm in the back row. Throwing down the Tenyi field spell, we move into the battle phase for some damage and just pass it over there. We see an Ecclesia get special summoned to the field and activate her effect to search for Fleur, while also giving us a draw 2 off the field spell. Fleur is also then specialed as a way to deal with Mobius, and just like that, it's back over to us. Firing off desires again here, we draw 2 more, and special Adhara. Tributing for Caius this time, we have all the Monarchs, we banish the Fleur, smack over the Ecclesia, and chip off some more life points before ending our turn. Branded in red is activated, but we chain the DD Crow in hand to hit the Aluber. We literally just have all the perfect responses. Nadir Servant dumps Apkalone to search Ecclesia. This time she does remember to activate Apkalone, but Chainlink to Droll throws a bit of a spanner in the works. She eventually passes with a defense position Ecclesia, and we can't do a whole lot even after drawing for turn, so we just beat over it with the Caius and do a little bit of damage. She ends up top decking Maximus, which is quite big here, dumps her a Titaniclad in Albion, which results in an end phase Fallen of Albaz, Super Poly with the Caius into Starving Venom. Our field spell has been put in work though, so we have plenty of options. After bouncing the Starving Venom with Vishuda, we're able to make our way to a Baxia to clear the Maximus and swing in for the 2-0 victory. So we're ending on a 2-2 record where one of those losses technically should have been a win versus the common only deck getting a 2-3 record. I think that means so far the rare deck is currently the best rarity deck we've made. If you disagree with that and you think Goki's better than Tenyi, then sure, let me know. But is the rare deck going to be surpassed by any other rarity? Supers, Ultras, Secrets, who knows? You're going to have to stay tuned to find out. Because this was a locals, we do have a prize pack to open, so we are going to end on that. Thank you so much for watching. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel for more, and I'll see you next time. Can't have a locals without a prize pack, baby. 1 pack of OTS 18 here. Ultis in here are Fusion Destiny, Zeus, and Ecclesia. All very, very good pools. I've seen OTS 19 recently got announced as well. I feel like these sets come out so damn quickly. But let's see, what do we have here? Ghost Rig Break, our first common. We have an Incantation Pensaplume, and it's not an ulti, but we did get the Super Kagamucha Knight. That actually looks really nice. It's really clean. Very cool. Alright, no ulti. Sag. Maybe next time.
Gravel road, I've been asked to slow down. Fireplace, do you